welcome to my channel. My name is Ndifon Ntui. On this channel I make swim tutorials. I post new videos on Wednesdays and on Saturdays. So if you're into stuff like this, make sure to check back on those days in order to watch new content. Alright, if you are a beginner or if you're a person that's trying to brush up on your skills, I offer online courses. I'll be showing a demo on how to make a jumpsuit so you can watch on the side if it will be convenient for you to learn online. If you're interested, send me a message on Telegram. Alright, number is on the screen right now. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like the video, please give it a like. Do not forget to subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Have a lovely day. Bye bye. Alright, you're welcome to this video. Before I start, I want to thank those of you that clicked on my community post that I dropped a few days ago. In case you didn't see the community post, my wife started a cooking channel. I asked you guys that if you are interested in food, if you love food, everybody eats. I dropped the link and that you should click and check it out. In case you didn't see it out, I will drop a link in the description of this video, and I really appreciate it if you click on the channel and check out my wife's channel. Thank you. Please, people should be women that support women. Thank you. So let's begin. In this video, I'm going to be working on the dress that you saw on the thumbnail and at the beginning of the video. That's the abaya, the kaftan with the batwing type sleeve. So that's what we're going to be working on in this video. Let me show you a part of something peculiar about this dress. So if you look closely, if you look around the hem of the dress, let me zoom in. All right, over here you can see that there's like an angle there. You can see that around that place there's like an angle where like a big sleeve was attached to. If you look at the shoulder, you would also see a cut for a sleeve. All right, so the side of the dress that has all that excess was basically treated as a sleeve, just simply attached to the main dress. So that's how we're going to treat it. So because of these parts of the dress, I'm going to cut the first part of the dress as I would cut a regular pencil dress. All right, so yeah, that's how you're going to, that's how you would have to approach this in order to achieve what they achieved there. If you don't know how to draft a pencil dress, I'll drop a link in the description to one of the videos that I have made about how to draft a pencil dress. I think I must have made a few pencil dresses on this channel. All right, so now I'm quickly drafting my pencil dress block. All right, and then I'm going to place my shoulder, my armhole, connect everything together. No, I'm going to correct that bottom part there, and I would explain why. So this is the basic pencil skirt block. In case you're wondering why there are two lines at the bottom, from the hip I was supposed to subtract 2 inches, but I made a mistake and I subtracted only 1. When I remembered, I had to now draw the second line. So the line that is on the inside is the correct line that we would use. Now the next thing we're going to do, we cannot have this armhole curved like that, so we would have to connect the armhole to the half cut so it doesn't obstruct the flow of the big sleeve that you are going to attach to all of this. So go ahead and do this, and don't be afraid that you are losing allowance on the side, because remember, we're going to attach a very big sleeve to all of this, so it's going to replace a lot of whatever that was going to be. All right, so whatever allowance is there, the sleeve would be paid back with the sleeve. After you roll the line, I'm going to go ahead to cut it out. I'm going to add 1 inch everywhere on the side. All right, but after I pass my bust, I'm going to taper into my shoulder because we don't need that 1 inch allowance at the shoulder. All right, so just watch and see how I cut this. We don't need that 1 inch at the shoulder, so I'm going to cut here first, fold it under so that our bottom part, our hem, will be curved 1 inch everywhere, taper out to nothing at the shoulder. You see what I did there? You can see it there. After you cut the side, I forgot I have to make a neckline. I forgot to place my neckline, so let's do that here. It's not too late. So I'm going to place 2.5 for the width, 2.5 for the depth. Draw a line, a curve, and connect them together. Place ½ inch of allowance for my shoulder, and then I'm going to go ahead to cut the part out. All right. So yeah, this pattern that you see here would be used to cut the front and the back. Because the front and back are basically the same. The only difference is that we would have 1 inch running everywhere from here all the way down, and at the neckline we're going to the neckline depth will be only 1 inch, not 2.5 like we did in the front, so that the back is higher. All right, so let's transfer this to the fabric. So I'm going to simply make a fold, place my pattern on top of it. All right, adjust it. So this is the front pattern I'm cutting first. So that's exactly what the paper is. I'm not going to modify it in any way. And then for the back, I'm going to cut it with 1 inch in front of here. Notice how I cut the neckline higher. All right, that's what I'm talking about, that the back would only come down by 1 inch after our half inch at the shoulder. So come down by 1 inch for the neckline depth. All right, so now the next thing we need to do is we need to measure the distance from the shoulder from here. So you see, from the shoulder all the way down to 4 inches above the hem. So this is where the hem here, 1 2 3 4, so that's 33. Make sure you keep that number. We're going to need that number. So for me it's 33, for you it might be something else depending on the length of the dress. We'll need that 33 for cutting the sleeve. So now it's time for us to apply the 33 inches that we have. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a fold with the 33. So you're going to measure 33 on your fabric, and then you're going to make a fold with the 33. So you're basically cutting out 66 inches out of your fabric. 33 times 2 is 66. All right, so you see this, I'm going to now cut here all the way down. All right, and because I used my hand to wing it, I'm going to use my tape to measure it to make sure that the bottom is still 33 inches, and yep, we're on point. All right, now that we have cut the 33, we are going to fold it just like how you would fold the fleece. So I'm now going to collapse the width of my fabric on itself. The width of the fabric is 6 inches. So when I bought it, it was 1 yard, 2 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, but the width was by 60. So I have 30. I hope that is clear. By the time I make this fold now, at the top there is 30. The next thing we have to do is to mark our sleeve after folding it. Now for me, the sleeve length is supposed to be 24. All right, I'm going to add an extra 5 inches, and that's what you should do too to the length of your sleeve, so that it increases the amount of excess that you have. So at most 5 inches, but make sure that you don't go lower than 3 inches for the excess you add to your sleeve length, so that you don't feel obstructed when you want to carry up your hand and move around. All right, so for me, I'm adding 5 inches to 24. That is 29. But mine, the fabric is 30 inches. I'm not going to cut anything out of it. I'll just use it as it is. Yeah, so I'm going to divide my fabric now on this part here, so that I have 2 separate sleeves. I hope that all of this doesn't confuse you. So I'm now going to mark the 4 inches. So remember, at the bottom I told you that we had we should mark out 4 inches above for our sleeve. So I'm marking out the points where that 4 inch stopped, so that I would know what to do when I'm on the machine. So now I'm joining my shoulders just to piece the front and the back together. After you join your shoulder, the next thing you are going to do is we're going to come over to, remember these places that we marked for 4 inches. That's, remember when we're measuring, we said 4 inches away from the hem. So we're going to start from there. So where you have your 66, I'm going to open it back up, and you're going to stitch from here all the way down. So you see this, we're going to simply join 1/2 inch all over. So that's that 33 inches that we folded. That's what that I said now gave us 66. That's what we are using to join all of this. So you see, I'm starting from that 1/2 inch mark that I marked with my chalk, and I'm sewing all the way across the bodice to the other side. All right, so with that, we have applied the 2 big sleeves to the body. So you can see the shoulder, you can see the sleeve that we have attached. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the whole thing inside out, come to the bottom part of the sleeve. After I turn it inside out, come to the bottom part of the sleeve, and I'm going to stitch from here all the way down. So this is just like stitching a sleeve to a bodice, where you stitch the sleeve straight and it leads you into the bodice, and then you finish it off. You can see what's happening here. So it's basically that's what I'm doing now, finishing the bottom part of that our 33 inch wide sleeve that we cut. So with that, you have attached it to the body. All right, you can see that there. So now the next thing I'm going to do, remember we had divided the back in two. We are going to join it together. I kept 1 inch for my allowance, so after here I'm going to come down 18 inches, and that's when I'm going to start locking my zipper allowance from. So you see that I'm going to measure out my 18 inches, and when I find it, I'm going to bring it to 18 inches, place it there. As for how deep in I'm coming in by 1 inch. Remember we kept only 1 inch for allowance. I kept only 1 inch for allowance, so I'm making sure that I hold that. So to finish the end of the sleeve, that's the cuff of the sleeve, yeah, you can use whatever type of elastic you want to use, but I want to use rib. So the wrist is roughly 7 inches, so I'm going to cut 8 inches. The extra 1 inch is for sewing allowance, because I will need to sew the rib together in order to form a cylinder. That's a loop or something like, yeah, a cylinder is the best shape to use to describe what will form, like you're about to see now. So you see, we're going to stitch top to bottom, and if you open this shape up, it's a cylinder. That's why I called it a cylinder. So see this, I'm going to now fold my rib like so. This is going to allow me to attach the sleeve. All right, so what I'm basically going to do now is I'm going to make gathers with my sleeve inside the rib. All right, so you're going to place the clean side of your dress facing down. So the clean side, you see the rough edge is facing up. That's where we have our joining, is facing the machine, meaning the clean edge is facing the camera, meaning the clean edge is facing the machine. You need to do that so that by the time you turn it out, the rib will be facing the right direction. But yeah, that's how you go ahead to fix that. So now the next thing I'm going to attach is our collar. Now the reason why I've gone ahead to build my collar without showing you is because I've made a comprehensive video showing you guys how to make a collar. I'm going to drop a link to that description. I'll drop a link to that video in the description for you guys. All right, so now I'm simply going to attach it. To the body. Right, I've used this method in a lot of videos, so yeah, a link will be in the description. All right, so I'm going to stitch from here all the way down. Now the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to fix our zipper. All right, so remember I kept 1 inch of sewing allowance, so I'm going to consume 1 inch of sewing allowance while fixing my zipper. All right, so yeah, make sure that you hold whatever you kept so that it's not too tight at the neck. I'm going to go all the way up, finish the ends of my zipper on the left and on the right, and yeah, with that pretty much done. The last thing we're going to do is at the bottom here, we're going to simply fold 1 inch twice. But once you stitch the bottom of your collar, yeah, through the dress, that's the end. If you've watched this far, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Do have a lovely day. Please make sure to check out my wife's channel if you're interested in food. Thank you so much. Thank you.